Hey everyone, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you a step-by-step process that I'm helping a client to pay off multiple credit cards in a very short amount of time. We're going to be utilizing the rapid payoff method to get that job done. So when I began talking with this client, she was really flustered because you can see there's plenty of credit cards that she has right now. And she has certain circumstances that are not allowing her to secure a home equity line of credit at the moment. So while those circumstances are being addressed, we're going to see what we can do to help eliminate and alleviate this credit card debt from Miss K. So hopefully this makes a lot of sense for you, Miss K. But one of the things that we could see as we started to analyze, and this is why it's very important for you to know your four numbers. Those are the four numbers that we have to work with. And so we want to implement this strategy. It's very important that you know those numbers. So as we were going through her four numbers, I noticed that the cash flow was very good and positive because there's good enough cash flow in here to work with. One of the numbers that she had on was actually that was impacting her cash flow was a payment for a vehicle that actually one of her family members is paying and not actually her. So we were able to add that back to her current cash flow. So now, if we look at her current cash flow, which is $2,002.10, and we start to look at all the different credit cards that she's carrying for the moment, the first thing we're going to look for is what can we immediately pay off with the current cash flow that we have that is disposable. So that's what I did. If you look at here, you'll see that every line that has a red hyphen next to it, or every item, that is an item that can be included in her current cash flow. So, which means the very first month that we start to implement this strategy, she's going to see some significant results because there's enough cash flow now that has been created to apply to all those credit cards. And when we do the numbers, I broke it down this way. The first set of numbers is the balance. That's what she currently owes for the credit card. The next one is the limit of that credit card, then her payment every month that she's making to that credit card. And lastly is the actual interest rate. So you can see those are double digit interest rates. That's the market that we're in. So we got to do something for that. But nice thing about it, because of the cash flow, we're able to take all these cards, right, in red. We're able to combine all those balances together. And when we do so, we're able to eliminate $1,997.02 of balances just right up the back. What does that mean? That means that in applying the strategy the very first month, we're going to take the cash flow that she has extra throughout the course of that month, and we're going to be applying it to liquidate all those credit cards, all right, one by one, every single month. When that cash flow, when she's getting paid throughout the course of the month, that cash flow is left over, we're going to be attacking credit cards. Okay, so that's exactly what we're going to do the first month. Now, what's happening with that is that that's going to create or open up some additional cash flow because if we look at her credit cards on a monthly basis, right now they're all payments, right? It's because she has balances on them. So from her income, part of her expenses includes all these 17 credit cards that she is paying. When we eliminate the $1,997 in balances, we're getting cash flow back. It's no longer going toward paying off those credit cards. So we are getting essentially $460.22 that is opening up of new cash flow. So what are we going to do? Well, that means that we're going to add that back to the current cash flow, which is $2,002.10, bringing the new cash flow to $2,462.32. So we're cooking. Beautiful. Now, what else are we looking at? Well, we know that if we had an impact to the cash flow, that means there's going to be an impact as well to the expenses. And that's exactly what's happening here. Her current expenses before that month were $4,178.68. Now we create a new cash flow. That means her expenses is actually going down. Okay, they're going down for that month. The new expenses are $3,718.46. Okay, so that was step one. Now let's focus on step number two. We're going to be looking for more areas of cash flow. So we looked at her expenses that have now gone down, but in this beautiful sea of credit, right, that now is becoming a pond, right, in this whole thing, there are opportunities to create cash flow by looking at a couple of things. Which of these credit cards that she has here can we use as a debt tool and leverage the limit that she has in that credit card as the debt tool so that she can run monthly expenses through. That's what this card is going to come to. This is the service that that card is going to provide. You can see her credit card number 11. Right now, it has a balance of only 3,873, but look at the limit. She has $21,000 available in that particular credit card and a $78 payment. So, in comparison to some of the other interest rates that she had, $19 is or 19% is under the 20%. So, we're going to go ahead and we're going to work with that particular credit card, meaning that what? For the next month, month number 2, we're going to be focusing on paying off another credit card, but we're going to leverage this debt tool, right, with the $21,000 available limit as a disposable, or rather as a place where she could run her expenses for that particular month. Meaning that of the expenses that she had, right, her new expenses went down to 3,718. Now she has $1,726.74 of a chargeable expenses that she could run through this credit card, right? The rest of the money has to stay in the checking account, right, which is the difference of $1991.72 for her to pay her other bills that can't be paid with the credit card, like a mortgage, for example, right? So now when we add the new cash flow with the disposable chargeable expenses for that particular month, we're going to get a new number, and that number now is 4,189 and 6 cents. So that's what we have to work with. Meaning what? If we look at the $4,189, now we can eliminate this credit card. So $3,398 is gone. That's what this is here. So on month number 2, because we're running expenses through this credit card here, the $3,398 of credit card number 4 is being eliminated. That's wonderful. What else is happening? Well, we still have a balance, right? The difference of $791.06 from the new cash flow that has been created. And we're going to eliminate a portion of credit card number 9 as well, which is going to bring that balance down to $510.82 because we're taking the difference of the 791 to tackle that particular debt. So we're moving right along. All right, so let's move on to the next step. And the next step is we are going to be tackling the next credit card bill or the next credit card on month number 3 with the additional cash flow that we are going to create. What's happening in month number 3 is we're going to finish paying off the balance of this card, right, that we started to pay down in month number 2. In month number 3, there's going to be a balance left to that card. You'll see here, credit card 9 balance of $510.82. Now that would have created an additional $41 in cash flow, but because the previous month we used this card here as our debt tool to run our expenses through, that means that the payment on that month is going to be higher for that card. So we're going to say it's going to be about 43. I think it's like $43 that's actually going to impact and increase the payment to. So it's good. It's basically going to be a washout, which means that we still have pretty much the totality of the $4,189 available so that we can repeat the process for month number 3. And when we do that, $510 will apply to the balance of credit card number 9, but we'll have $3,678.24 still available to be able to start to impact credit card number 16. That is absolutely fantastic because that is a good portion, right? We have credit card number 16 at $4,271.34. We know that in that month as well, we're going to be running the expenses again through this particular debt tool. And then what's going to happen in month number 4, we're going to completely finish with the balance of credit card number 16 because at that point, we're going to owe $593.10. That is actually going to wipe this credit card off, basically, right? Which means we would have gotten $43 in cash flow back. But because, again, we're using this to run our expenses, there's all likelihood the payment there is actually going to increase. So we're just going to call it a washout. So it's moving right along. By the period of 1, 2, 3, 4 months, with this particular strategy, she can eliminate almost $11,000 in credit card debt. But more importantly, she's going to get peace of mind. Right? This is actually how you go through the structure and deciding which credit cards you should start tackling as you're going through the particular strategy to pay off your debt. So if she followed this course, right, and continued for another month to charge all her chargeable expenses on this particular credit card, which has a really, really high limit, and based off of the cash flow that would have been created, that means that this card number 13 would probably be the next one that she could attack right here. And based off her cash flow, this would take about another 2 months for her to pay off. So it's just a rinse and repeat, folks. That's all it is. What you see working for you, once you start to put it into place, and you see those balances dropping, you get motivated to continue to continue to put the strategy to work on your behalf. So, Ms. K, I really hope this helps you out. Contact me below or put some comments, concerns that you might have in there, and I'll continue to give you feedback on exactly how we can work together to get this strategy done and get you out of that credit card debt that we talked about. So until the next video, thanks for tuning in today. Take care and God bless.